Student, this is continuation of our leasing chapter in which we were discussing the concept of leasing, whether it should be taken as capital or operating lease. In this lecture, I will again illustrate you that under various situations when a business is taking any property, plant, or machine and using it, then how they decide whether it should be taken as operating or capital lease. Now just go through this question, that in this question or in this situation, in simple words you can say that the company signed an 8-year lease agreement. Annual payment which is set is 28,500 to be made at the beginning of the each year. Whenever a student question is saying that this payment will be made at the beginning of each year, so you should be very careful that now this should be taken as annuity due rather than ordinary annuity. At the end of the lease, the equipment will revert to the lessor. It means that it is already specified that the equipment will go back to the lessor. Equipment has a useful life of 8 years and there is no residual value estimated with it. At the time of lease agreement, the equipment has a fair value of 166,000. This fair value means right now if a person is planning to buy it rather than taking it on lease, then this equipment is available in market at a price of 166,000. Interest rate is 10.5% and straight line depreciation is used by the firm. Again, the concept is to identify whether it should be taken as capital or operating lease. So if you check the first fundamental information which is given, that there is no bargain option available, it means that from this point of view, we cannot call it as a capital lease. But if you check the second condition, the life of the lease is 8 years, while the economic life is also 8 years. So if you remember the previous lectures, we decided that the more than 75% of the estimated life should be specified to lease. If lease contract consists of more than 75% of economic life, then we can consider it as capital lease. So in this situation, when you take 8 years of lease time while the economic life is also 8 years, it means that there should be no confusion at all and you can take it as capital lease because it is meeting 100% economic life which will be benefited to leasee. Second, student, as reminding you again that the payment was decided in the question, it will be made at the beginning of each year. It means that the when we calculate the minimum lease payment by the present value concept, we will take ordinary annuity formula and convert it into annuity due formula. So up to here, your formula is related to ordinary annuity. And once I multiply it by 1 plus R factor, it will be converted into annuity due. So the annuity amount which is decided in the question is 28,500. And then when you will multiply it by all the factors, the present value is coming 164,000. As we did in the previous lecture, if we take the present value of the lease payment and divided by the fair value of the item, the estimated percentage is coming 99. If this percentage is more than 90%, the criteria that was set in the previous lectures, it means that this lease can also be considered as capital lease. So in this situation, there are two criteria which is met by the situation. The one, the fair value comparison with the minimum lease payment, and since minimum lease payment is more than the fair value, sorry, it is less than the fair value, but it is very close to 90% criteria. It is meeting to 99%. So in this point of view, we can take it as capital lease.